get their groove on, and strut their stuff on a dance floor of ice.
I wanna do it till the sun comes up. Oh yeah. I wanna do it till I can't get enough. Yeah, yeah. I wanna put on my boogie shoes. Just look at you. Well, I wanna put on my boogie shoes. Just look at you. I wanna put on my boogie shoes. Just to boogie with you. Yeah.
It's an outstanding field of skating's top stars that's been assembled. They're here for the Keri Lotion Figure Skating Classic and the warm sunshine and white sand of one of the world's busiest beaches, Daytona Beach, Florida, where you can drive right up to the Atlantic Ocean and catch some rays while never leaving your car. We are just a couple hundred yards away, right across the street, where it is much cooler inside the Ocean Center. Hi, everybody. I'm Terry Gannon. Welcome to an event that reflects just how far this sport has progressed throughout the years. This is an open competition involving both skaters who are eligible for the Worlds and Olympics, and also those who have moved on to the professional ranks. The bottom line is that now more than ever, we have a chance to see the best skaters in the world compete head-to-head on the same ice in a meaningful way. We welcome in two-time Olympic champion, Mr. Dick Button. Dick, that distinction between the two worlds, it's getting smaller every day, but it's been a long time coming.
Well, you know, Terry, a half a century ago, back in the dark ages when I was skating, an amateur skater couldn't even step on the ice with the professional skater, and they certainly couldn't compete against them. But guess what? The amateurs now make a pot of money, the pros have competitions that are exciting and popular, and the International Skating Union, which controls the Olympic side of the sport, stung by the loss, first of Oksana Bayul and then of Tara Lipinski to the pro ranks, has sanctioned open competitions like this one to embrace the professional world and keep the so-called amateurs available for the Olympic Games. Now, the rules of this competition are therefore a lot less restrictive and more sensitive to both worlds than they ever have been before.
50 years ago you were skating? That's how long it was?
I was very young.
You didn't have this opportunity. Neither did Olympic champion Peggy Fleming. But Peggy, Michelle Kwan does. What is she taking from competitions like these?
Well, Terry, Michelle is the generation that's growing up under this new system of so many opportunities. When I was an amateur skater, there were only 2 or 3 competitions a year. And for Michelle, this new world has created an atmosphere that she fully understands and is flourishing in. She's not intimidated about exploring her talent, and she's definitely not playing it conservatively. But with all these amazing opportunities comes the enormous stress of prioritizing training, with travel, with endorsements, and with financial decisions, something I never dreamed of at 18 years old.
Many more opportunities, but you're forced to grow up even faster these days. Well, the short programs have already taken place. As you may imagine, Michelle Kwan was brilliant. She is the leader at this point. It's worth a look. Let's take a look back and see how Peggy, Dick, and I called it.
Michelle Kwan.
Her short program last season was called by many who have been around this sport for a long time the greatest program they had ever seen. She has put together something that is much different, has a much different feel, and the new haircut, a different look. Here is Michelle Kwan.
And the music, the finale from Carmen's Suite.
And this year, Michelle wants the audience on the edge of their seat. She said she wants them to get chills watching this program.
Remember, this is a short program with required elements. This is the first of her required elements, a triple Lutz, double toe loop. Very neat, clean, perfectly done. Second required element, a double axel. This actually is a requirement. It's called straight line footwork.
Now coming up her triple toe loop. Taps in. Nice, solid, very confident. Nice smooth jump.
Combination spin. Notice the one change of foot right here. At least two changes of position.
Those are very difficult moves on your toe.
This is spiral combination, one of her magnificent moves.
And it's so expressive to this music. She gives every move such importance.
A look back at the very dramatic short program from Michelle Kwan. Good enough to receive 6.0s from the crowd all around. 5.8s and 5.9s from the judges. That puts her into first place. The ladies' free skate comes up a little bit later. Right now, though, the men are on the ice warming up for their free skate, and we take a look at the leaderboard. Currently, it is the 5-time U.S. champion, Todd Eldredge, who is in the lead. And right behind him, Michael Weiss, the 2-time U.S. silver medalist, but Olympic champion Victor Petrenko, and Ilia Kulik, the reigning Olympic gold medalist, all the way down in 4th place right now.
Let's have a warm welcome now for Rudy Galindo.
And here is Rudy Galindo, of course, famous for that day in San Jose when he captured a U.S. championship. Now, as a professional, he has won on the professional level. Right now, he's in 6th place.
The music, Over the Rainbow by Melissa Manchester.
When all the world is a hopeless jumble and the raindrops.
One of the reasons why he's standing still is because the program was a little longer than required length allowed it to be.
He's trying to avoid the deduction of going over the time limit of 4 minutes. And the program officially starts when the skater moves, not when the music begins.
Darken up the skyway, there's a rainbow highway to be found. From your window pane to a place behind the sun, just a step beyond the rain.
These rules in this event, as Dick mentioned, a little bit different than in the eligible world. This free skate, 3 minutes and 30 seconds to 4 minutes in length. And the men are restricted to 4 different jumps that have 3 or more revolutions.
That you dare
the rules actually state that this is an interpretive pre-program, which I think kind of sends the wrong message to the skaters. Means that interpretive kind of implies soft. And even though that was a very nice triple combination, double toe combination, the program is what we refer to as a soft program, a gentle program. And I think that the word interpretive sort of calls for that. It shouldn't, but it does.
And in this event, you are allowed to use props out on the ice?
And technically, this is not a prop, but part of his costume. It didn't stay attached earlier, so he had to pick it up during the program. What it represents is the rainbow flag, the symbol of the gay and lesbian movement.
Birds fly over the rainbow, white and if happy little bluebirds fly beyond the rainbow, why, oh, why can't
Well, I don't think this was Rudy Galindo's best program. I think it almost seemed as though it didn't flow very much, that it was very tentative. I think that will disappear as he becomes more comfortable with the program and performs it more often. It did not have as much technical merit as I think these judges will want to see, and that may be reflected in the marks. But his technical ability is really superb. Look at the stretch here and the turnout. So many other skaters do that, and they have bent legs and rounded backs. They don't perform it nearly as well. But his technical merit in this program, I think, could have been stronger.
Rudy all the way down in 6th place, trying to move up, and he has not been happy at all with what the judges have given him as of late, along with his sister Laura, and he won't be happy with these, Dick.
I'm not sure that he quite understood what the judges were looking for here. This is very much an interpretive program, but the technical merit marks are very strong and very necessary.
5.1 to 5.4 for skating techniques, and for presentation, they're higher as you would expect.
But not as high as he is used to, because it was a rather tentative program.
Rudy visibly upset with the marks and the effort here in Daytona Beach.
I think probably he's more disappointed with himself.
Olympic champion Ilia Kulik in 4th place. He was all smiles on the beach. We'll see about his free skate when we come back.
Love guns. I don't know why. It's just something maybe in the culture. So I was such a big fan of shooting from my childhood, and I just loved it so much, and there's no way you can do that in Russia. And the first thing that I noticed when I came here was a shooting range. I was so shocked. I couldn't even believe that you can just go and shoot. I love to listen to classical music a lot, you know, and it was a big change for me because I started to love it just a couple of years ago, and I couldn't understand it before. So it was a big change for me. My favorite holiday is definitely my birthday, and I love Moscow. I love my hometown, you know, all my childhood experiences. A long time ago when I was a kid, you know, 5 years old or 6 years old, I got a small car, and it was a Porsche. You know, it was a toy car, this big. And at that time in Russia, we didn't have any toys, you know. So I got that car, and I was just in love. I love so many different food. I love Russian food, especially. And I love Japanese food, sushi, New York steak, Caesar salad also. I like it. Sometimes even McDonald's. I like chocolate. I like chocolate, all the chocolate cookies, all the chocolate cakes. Junk food? What is that? I miss Russian people, you know, because your relationship with Russian people, it will be different than with Americans, and that's probably what I'm missing the most.
Representing Russia, Ilia Kulik.
He is the reigning Olympic champion. 21-year-old Ilia Kulik of Russia. So many things have happened to him since he won that gold medal. He now lives in Los Angeles and does not have a coach.
But he has a house and a girlfriend, and he is so Hollywood already that you can't stand it. And this is Tango from Cirque du Soleil. He's got to do a triple axel here if he's going to have a chance to pull up. At this moment, he's in 4th place, and that's quite far down for him. But if he does it, it'll be right here. Remember, 3.5 revolution from a forward edge, and it was a double.
Certainly a surprise that Ilia is in 4th place heading into his free skate.
No, he had a disaster in the short program. I mean, all of these guys, you know, can skate a wonderful program one day and then just blow it the next day without any rhyme or reason. Even that triple Lutz was a tentative one. It didn't fly with his usual flair. See there, the same spin that Rudy Galindo did, but he can't keep the skating leg straight. That's because he hasn't stretched in the same way that Rudy Galindo has.
You mentioned he no longer is working with his coach, Tatiana Tarasova. He's out in LA. He's working with a number of different choreographers, but this free skate he choreographed himself.
This a triple flip jump. Badly popped. And there's another popped one. I tell you, his marks certainly should be disastrous here. Now, I saw him perform this program a few weeks ago. It was dashing, it was emotional, it was fiery, it was wonderful. Tonight, it just fell flatter than you-know-what.
Not the same Ilia Kulik that won the gold medal at the Olympic Games.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ilia Kulik.
In 4th place before the free skate. Tough to see him moving up with that program.
Now, look at this triple flip. Watch him as he toe picks in the ice. He doesn't stretch back. The toe pick doesn't quite get secure right there, and the jump pops open. He never even has a chance at it. And in this move, again, now watch him as he steps around, going to a toe loop position. Again, the same thing happens. He never attacks the jump, never gets into it.
5.7.
But what I don't understand, I'm afraid, is how he can have 5.7s for technical merit when he popped open 2 of the main jumps of his thing. Yeah, I got to tell you, that's questionable in my
It's a
book.
subjective sport, isn't it?
Oh, brother, give me a break.
Ilia sitting with his coach and choreographer at this moment.
Now look at this. Here are the marks for artistic impression. That was a program to me. I mean, his spins were very weak, and the rest of the program certainly had none of his usual flair.
There is something to be said for a reputation as an Olympic gold medalist. Ilia Kulik presently in the lead over Rudy Galindo. But up next, the overall amateur.
It's great, you know. I've competed against all these guys for years and years, you know, and so it's, you know, it's fun for all of us to kind of start this new age of competitions and new thing, you know, together, and you know, I think it's going to be great, you know, for all of us, you know, and hopefully for the years to come.
Okay, babe, here we go. A little more.
He's also one of the few skaters that recognizes the value and importance of spins and how much they mean to an audience and how much they mean to highlighting the program. The others throw them away in their rush for another triple jump.
I didn't start it, God, I will start. But you hold every heart.
The center on the spin. Watch the toe of his free leg, the tightness of the legs, the stretch of the arms. He certainly is really a consistent, powerful skater with secure jumps, wonderful spins, and a very nice attitude about skating. It's kind of great to see.
They're out of their seats for the first time tonight in the Ocean Center. Todd Eldredge with a smile on his face as good as ever.
Now, look at this triple axel. Watch as he steps. Look at the edging. Very straight, very secure. I mean, he's not waffling in any way. Now, watch him step right up into that jump. Beautiful height first. First, he got the height. Then he did the revolution, and then he landed. And that's the perfect mark. Watch and see if he does it here in this Lutz. Started turning a little bit sooner, but wonderful jump. Secure, clean as a whistle, and just fine. What can I tell you? Now, Todd is one of the best spinners in the world. Everybody knows that. And he does really good centering. This spin, the forward scratch spin, is the toughest of all. And he keeps a very good center on it.
Todd Eldredge had his coach, Richard Callahan, singing along with the music when he was out on the ice. Eldredge, the leader heading into the free skate, very high marks, 5.8s and 5.9s for technical merit.
Well, he deserved those marks because it was a clean program, you know, and both the jumps and the spins were good.
Highest marks by far that we have seen. Now the second set.
And now his mark for
presentation. Those are very high, including a perfect 6 on the board. And Jimmy Roberts has made his way down there to talk to Todd Eldredge. Jimmy?
Well, Todd, I would have asked you if you're happy with those marks, but I guess the last one says it all. How would you grade yourself on what you just did?
It was a great night. You know, I had a great time out there, and you know, I'm going to say that's probably my first 6.0 that I've gotten in a real competition, so that was exciting.
Really? The first time?
First time.
Took this long, huh? There's been some discussion about how the rink is perhaps smaller. Does it bother you at all?
I had to adjust a few patterns here and there, but you know, we're all kind of used to going from one size to another, so it just takes a little bit more adjusting and getting used to.
All right, Todd, nice skate. Keri?
All right, Jimmy, a high standard set for the
Ukraine, Please welcome Victor Petrenko.
One of 2 Olympic champions in the men's competition on the ice right now. Victor Petrenko wearing Paul McCartney's hair and Dick Button's shirt. Victor in 3rd place after the short programs.
I'd rather it was my hair. And by the way, it's a medley of the Beatles, just in case you didn't know.
All about the girl who came to stay. She's the kind of girl you want so much it makes you sorry. Still you don't regret a single day. Ah, girl.
By the way, he just had his back to the judges as he was clutching himself, so that they were supposed to see what he was doing.
She will turn to me and start to cry. And she promises the earth to me and I believe her.
Triple toe loop. Perfect position, particularly coming out of the spin. From that angle, we saw how neat and straight lined the back was, and the edge was. A perfect landing.
She's the kind of girl who puts you down when friends are there, you feel a fool. When you say she's looking good, she acts as if it's understood she's cool.
A triple axel right here. Let's see if he... Nope, it went off in the air. You could see the body leaning out of the circle that he was skating in. When that happens, disaster usually strikes. But if you also notice, it was a jump that landed, bounced right up, and did not obstruct or interfere with the flow of the skating, as opposed to those falls where the skater is all over the ice and can't get back into the immediately back into the program. Triple salka, the double salka rather. I sort of have a feeling that some of these international skating judges, which have been judging world and Olympic competition on the amateur level, don't quite know what's going on here.
Much different world and the 2 coming together. But Victor told me earlier today that he really felt as an eligible skater back when he won an Olympic championship that he was still in school. And just now he has learned how to become an artist.
You're absolutely right, and he is absolutely correct. He's a fun skater. He's developed a good sense of humor, has some wonderful jumps.
Never takes himself too seriously.
And I wish I had his hair.
Victor Petrenko, ladies and gentlemen. Victor Petrenko.
Now, if you really want to see textbook perfect movement, this is it. Look at the straight line, the tightness. That is probably one of the best pictures of a triple jump you'll see. But here, look at how the body leans outward. He has no control over it, has to open up in midair. The takeoff was just incorrect.
And the toughest task of the evening is keeping a straight face with the shirt and hairdo. Galina Zmeyevskaya his mother-in-law and coach, alongside the first set of marks, 5 5s and 5 6s for technical merit.
And those are pretty generous marks. He had some very good moves and some misses along the way, too.
Now those for presentation, those are much higher. 5 7s all the way up to a 5.9 for Victor.
Well, I'm not sure that that program deserves a 5.9 or even a 5.8, but they're very generous marks, and it's nice for him to have them.
So Victor moves up from 3rd place to 2nd, right behind the leader, Todd Eldredge.
Another seeking the gold. You'll see romance.
Well, he performed very consistently in the short program, holding on to 2nd place. That's certainly commendable. Nice, nice. That was a good triple axel. He's frequently shown great difficulty with that jump, and it's nice to see that he's straightening out the entrance to it. See a backflip, and you know that's one of the things that this competition does allow. The rules against the backflip and lying on the ice and vocal music and all of those restrictions are lifted. They're allowed to do almost anything that they want to. Well, that was a program that was kind of all on one level. I think the music did not help give him the highs and lows that I think would have made it a little bit more exciting. Very steady, very secure.
6.0s from the crowd, but those don't count. Todd Eldredge got a 6.0, and Michael Weiss in 2nd place before this program, the only man with a chance to catch Eldredge.
Now, Michael does a very good axle jump here, triple axle. But watch the takeoff edge right here and the snow that he creates at the end of it. That slows him down a little bit and keeps him from getting as much height as he could otherwise. But that was a wonderful jump, just wonderful. And here comes his backflip. I think the audience always likes to see this, whether it's the danger or what, I'm not sure, but it certainly does get a reaction every time.
Normally they throw flowers out, they throw teddy bears. For Michael Weiss, they throw a pair of baby shoes, something he can definitely use. For his young one at home, his coach, Audrey Wissaker, alongside 5.6 up to 5.9 for technical merit.
And those are very strong marks. I think the United States judge is making up for her 3.5 in the short program to Rudy Galindo.
And now the second set of marks, 5.5 up to 5.8. So those are higher for Michael Weiss. So be pleased with those. So will Audrey Wissaker, but they're not high enough to vault him into first place. So Michael Weiss will have to settle for the silver here in Daytona Beach. And a look at the final standings, it is Todd Eldredge who wins the Keri Lotion Figure Skating Classic. Weiss right behind him. Victor Petrenko, the Olympic gold medalist, finishes in 3rd. And Ilia Kulik, a disappointing 4th. Eldredge again shoots down the competition. back, everyone, to the Ocean Center in Daytona Beach, Florida, as the Keri Lotion Figure Skating Classic continues. Hi again. Along with Dick Button, I'm Terry Gannon. We're getting set for the ladies' interpretive free skate. And, Dick, you know that anytime Michelle Kwan is a part of a group, she's the focus. But this is a group where each skater brings something unique to the ice.
Well, you know, it's really quite a group of skaters. I mean, look at Angela Nikodinov. Now, she's one of the up-and-coming skaters, but already she has one of the best layback spins I've ever seen. And I think you know how much I can complain about sloppy laybacks. And then there's Maria Butirskaya. This year in particular, she's developed a kinetic tension that keeps one's eyes glued to her. Surya Bonali skates fast with the heart of a gymnast. Nicole Bobek, she's the quintessential long-legged showgirl. And Michelle Kwan, well, she's the one who has transcended technique. She uses all the difficult elements of skating to create artistry. And if she isn't careful, she'll soon become an icon.
If she isn't already an icon. It is Michelle Kwan, the two-time world champion, who is in the lead heading into the free skate. And right now, she's backstage with Peggy Fleming. Peggy?
Thanks, Terry. Michelle, you had such a fabulous season last year, and your rivalry with Tara Lipinski, I mean, that was so pressure-filled, and you came through it so well. But now with Tara turning professional, she won't be an eligible competitor anymore. How are you going to keep that competitive edge for the next 4 years?
Well, my motivation's always within. When I go out on the ice, it's me and the ice, and that's all I focus on. And so if I'm competing against you or Tara or anybody, you know, it's just I mind my own business and I go out there and just let it go and have fun.
Have your goals changed at all?
No, my goals haven't changed much. Same philosophy. Go out there and skate your heart out.
Well, we enjoy watching you skate your heart out. Good luck to you in the future.
Thank you.
Back to you, Terry.
All right, Peggy, Michelle did just that in a short program. That's why she is in the lead right now heading into the free skate over Angela Nikodinov, the young teenager from San Pedro, California, and Maria Butirskaya of Russia.
Representing Canada, please welcome.
In Canada, they call her Queen of Ice. 3 times the Canadian national champion and the silver medalist in 1988 at both the Worlds and the Olympics. Here's Liz Manley. Skating to Impossible Dream by Luther Vandross. And what she's doing right now is waiting, because if she starts her program when the music starts, it would be over the 4-minute time limit. So she's trying to avoid the deduction.
So she waited at the appropriate moment in the music to start this program.
She did that in practice this afternoon. We didn't know whether or not she would do it here in the free skate.
That's because the rules have been changing left and right, and it's been very difficult for the skaters to really understand which is what in what competition.
To bear with unbearable sorrow.
And one of the things to watch about her is the security and the steadiness of her edges. She is a superb athlete. Now, I hope she does this triple salchow. Doesn't, but she still is a superb athlete.
Very powerful. She moves across this ice with a lot of speed.
When your arms are too weary to reach the unreachable star.
That was a double axel. She kind of stepped out of the landing. this combination spin. Camel layback back sit.
Those Olympic Games in 1988 in Calgary are remembered as the Battle of the Carmens. Katarina Witt, Debbie Thomas, but it was Liz Manley who stole the show on the final night, winning the free skate to capture her silver medal.
Well, she was just wonderful that night. She sparkled, she flew, she did everything superbly. Everybody was comparing the Battle of the Carmens, and she slipped right through.
I think this number really suits her power and her edges. Beautiful number, disappointing in her jumps.
Liz Manley, the three-time Canadian champion who had a dream season in 1988, winning the silver medal at the Olympics and the Worlds.
Elizabeth Manley.
And taking the ice next, the 1995 U.S. champion, Nicole Bobek, who has gone the three-time Canadian champion alongside her friend Laura Galindo, the sister of Rudy, helping out this weekend. The first set of marks for technical merit, a 5.0 and the rest 5.1s.
I think those technical merit marks are a little low because she really did have some trouble with some of the triple jumps that she had.
But she's really enjoyable to watch. She has so much energy and audience appeal.
And I think these marks reflect that.
The second set for presentation, 5.3 to 5.5 for Liz Manley.
Representing the United States, Nicole Bobek.
There is no way to get around it. Last season was a major disappointment for Nicole Bobek, a 17th place finish at the Olympics. But now she is back with Richard Callahan, who coached her to a national championship in 1995.
The music, Arms of an Angel by Sarah McLachlan from the movie City of Angels.
And Nicole is in 4th place, heading into the free skate.
Now, one of the reasons she's in 4th place is because her eternal trouble with the triple flip jump. The first move that she's planned here. Watch as she enters it. Watch where she places her free foot in the toe pick part of the jump. Look and see if the entrance is straight or if it curves. Right here. Now, 3-turn, curve, and it was a double flip.
Her second triple planned is a triple loop, taking off from a back outside edge. There's her preparation. Up, and she just doubled that too.
I'm not sure she intended either of those to be triple jumps. She just flew into both of them and did them very easily, so it looked almost as though there was no triple attempt, which may not be a bad idea considering the fact that she's had trouble with that triple flip.
Sometimes gets caught up in the emotion of her music and performances that she, forgets to think about that technique and the focus that is needed to do that.
Problem again.
That's a beautiful move. Spiral in a skid position. Double axel. She is a stunning figure on the ice and very pleasant to watch. But she just has to get more consistent on her jump. It's still very beautiful.
You've watched her for so long, it's hard to imagine that she is only 21 years old. Nicole Bobek.
And here is a look at her triple toe that she fell on in the program. There she's preparing the turn and the tap in, and she just didn't get enough height and enough snap in that takeoff to finish the revolution. She looks so relaxed in the technique going into it. She's got to attack it more. And here was that beautiful move she did. It was an inside spiral or back outside spiral and sliding to a forward inside. Very effective. And it takes a lot of control.
Well, she can achieve some really beautiful lines when she wants to. Look at this drop down into a split jump. The elegance of that is really quite striking.
Some boos and catcalls from the crowd who expected better marks in the first set.
Now, you see, I'm afraid I don't quite understand that. Those marks are very high and very nice for someone who did not do you know, any triple jumps and fell on the one that she tried.
Now the presentation marks, and they're higher, 5.5 to 5.8.
And I think that reflects the fact that she really is a very talented and elegant skater when she wants to be. If she can hold her concentration, she would be phenomenal.
Not championships, but seeing how far she can push her skating, and she thinks she is nowhere near the outer limits. Here is the leader, Michelle Kwan.
Skating to Dante's Prayer. Move, a camel spin in her normal direction, and now she does a camel spin in the opposite direction. That's like trying to write, you know, left-handed if you're right-handed. Very difficult.
difficult triple jump that she does is this triple Lutz. A slight hesitation on the landing, but that's really nitpicking. A beautiful jump.
The running forward, very gentle. This choreography gives such texture to this program. Over the ice, and I think that's what gives it such an appeal. She is absolutely wonderful. The magic of Michelle Kwan.
But what it clearly is a very delicate program, a very sensitive program that nevertheless employs all of the difficult technical elements and does them quietly and without fanfare within the framework of the choreography. That's kind of the nice overall package that skating should be all about, and seldom is.
The body of work that she already has to her credit at the age of 18 is amazing, and she continues to add to it.
And here is a look at her opening triple toe loop. Nice and solid, straight in the air. Plenty of time to come out for a nice clean landing. Just effortless. Just flowed right along in her program. And this was her more difficult jump, the triple Lutz, where she reaches back. A little hesitant on that landing, but she's always determined to really just land it and get on with the rest of the choreography. And here is her gorgeous signature spiral where she goes from the inside edge to the outside. That is magnificent.
Frank Carroll, her coach. Of course, Lori Nickel, her choreographer. She's not here, but they've been called the best team in skating. And the first set of marks for technical merit, 5.8s and 5.9s. I think the crowd wanted some 6.0s.
That's usually pretty hard to do in technical merit, but much easier to do in the artistic mark. And of course, there are two of them.
You knew you'd see them there. Two perfect 6.0s, the rest 5.9s for Michelle Kwan, the leader going into the free skate, and obviously still the leader here in Daytona Beach.
Welcome now, Maria Butrskaya.
So as Michelle Kwan holds on to first place ahead of Surya Bonali and then Nicole Bobek, here is Maria Butrskaya, the 5-time Russian champion. She finished 4th at the Olympics this past season, had her best season yet as an eligible skater, winning the European Championship as well, the first major international title for her.
The music, Forever Tango. And you can see already a very nice tension in her skating. You quite, wonder what she's going to do with the strictness of these moves and the strength behind them.
Well, I really appreciate her attention to body line. It looks beautiful on the ice. She also designed some of her costumes, too. This is very effective in the tango look.
Now, I've seen her do this program just a couple of weeks ago, and she did it marvelously and brilliantly with every move right in place. And this afternoon, the practice session was first rate.
But this has always been her downfall in her career, is the inconsistency in her jumps. She battles nerves. Great position on this camel. Nice control. Good extension on the arms and legs. One of the more difficult triples, a triple loop, taking off from that back edge. She almost had it.
What I did like, she did have it. She just curled that edge, the landing edge, which will be a mark down. But then did you notice the way she stepped forward with such a decisive move? I like that sharpness about her skating.
From Moscow, she splits time between the Russian capital and Simsbury, Connecticut now. One of the reasons she gives for having so much success a year ago, the new leadership by her coach, Yelena Chekhovskaya.
And her final jump, a double axel. Nicely done.
I think she rather liked this performance, even though there were a couple of blitzes earlier in the thing. And she does, you know, she does achieve the tango look and the tension that you are used to with tangos.
Been much more relaxed away from the ice, though. There was a time when she felt written off by the Russian Federation and that everyone had given up on her. Came back with a great year last season. And now, much more of a smile on her face when she's around the rink.
And here is a look at her triple lutz that she fell on in the program. She just didn't get up enough height, and she didn't have enough speed or attack to really accomplish this jump. And her feet, since she crosses them, get tangled up for that landing, and it's hard to unwind them.
But on this triple loop, she had a better entrance. Good revolution right there. But here, she faltered badly. But now watch how she steps off right there into the choreography, and that gets her back on track.
It was last year that Maria joined Yelena Chekhovskaya and had her best year yet. Now the marks for skating techniques, 5.4 up to 5.8.
And majority 5.6s and 5.7s, very respectable. As these marks are also. I think she did a very nice overall job. The choreography is interesting. She's a little awkward sometimes, but generally a very nice skater.
In second place. Up next, 18-year-old Angela.
From the hit movie Titanic.
This was an exhibition program that she had, and she had to very recently extend it to fit the parameters of this competition. Look at the stretch of the free leg. That's very pretty.
And I think she's worked on this over this past season, is more presentation in her body, in her arms. But her jumps are her more consistent thing. triple lutz.
Oh, that was a
Double
beauty.
toe.
I mean, the way she flowed out of that with as much speed as she had when she went into it on a clean edge that had no bobbles in it. That was nice.
Well, she has such a calm about her performance quality, and when she goes into these jumps, she looks like, oh, I do this every day.
That is how I know you go on. Far across the distance and spaces between us, you have come to.
The only child of Bulgarian immigrants, she missed an opportunity to skate at the World Championships when Nicole Bobek withdrew because she was back in Bulgaria with her folks.
Triple flip. Now, did you see how straight the entrance was there? I attribute a lot of that to the success of that jump. Again is a very pretty layback. Congratulations.
She just makes these jumps look so easy. There's no emotion in her face of any fear. Just real confident, real comfortable. She could use some of these moments a little better, holding these spirals a little longer.
And with better stretch in them.
Yes.
That triple toe loop became a single. Or double. But I don't think that cost her anything.
She should feel very proud of herself. Very nicely done.
Angela ladies and gentlemen, Angela.
What was nice about that was that it was a simple program. The moves were simple but cleanly done. She took her time. She didn't rush.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Ocean Center in Daytona Beach, Florida, as the Keri Lotion Figure Skating Classic continues.